I know it's one of those things like, Chris, I'll set you up. I don't have to set him up.
You don't have to set him up. He'll just know on the fly. All right, Doug Christie knows what's going on when it comes to his guys and what they do when people like Malik Monk, kind of like what we were talking about, are out. You got to step up.
Really, really big and good win for us from the standpoint that Malik goes down after a few minutes. And, I mean, across the board, guys stepped up. Zach and Debo carry us, Domas with a triple-double. And, you know, that is a really good, well-coached, physical team at home at the end of a road trip. And those are the type of games that if we want to think about doing what we've talked about, we must come in and play and compete at a high level, especially after back-to-back. So super, super proud and excited for our guys.
Well, they made, bless you, they made adjustments for sure. They were down 8 going into the half, and they had cut it down after being down 18, and it looked like the game was going to get away from them. So what the heck did Coach say at halftime?
To just, you know, not back down, stay with the physicality. We're not complaining to the referees. We know how they play, and we come here to win a ball game. They got going in the first half, and we hung around and hung in there and just make sure that we came out in the second half and hit first. And I thought the guys, after scoring that many in the first half, you come out and you hold them to 45. They did a really, really solid job.
Zach LaVine did the solidest of all jobs, as well as DeMar DeRozan and even Domantas Sabonis. They combined for 99 points between the three of them, but Zach LaVine stood out above all.
When he gets a heater going, it's a different type of heater. It's, you just want him to touch the ball every time. So we were trying to create ways for him to get it, knowing that they're going to be physical. They're going to top block in the corners. They're going to blow up DHOs. And guys found him, and he found the game to his credit.
DHO stands for dribble handoff.
No. Okay.
Heard that.
Sure.
Finally.
Designated hitter.
Overture.
Yeah.
It's a song. Here's Doug on why do the Kings lose to the Wizards and then reel off 3 straight? What the heck?
You know, the basketball universe, man, is it's an interesting thing. I mean, life in general. But I tell them sometimes you get what you need and not what you want. We want to play well all the time. But obviously in that moment, there were many things with us that needed to be discussed and needed to be, like that's a part of our game that needs to evolve as well. And I think it took a low point like that to make us address it. And I told them after the next win, after that loss, and we go to Charlotte, I said, listen, I'm super proud and impressed that a group of young men can come together and discuss things like men and then go out and trust each other enough that the word action.
Sorry, Doug.
Those are powerful, powerful things, man. And when you get a group of people that believe in each other, that trust each other, that love each other, and I know that they do because I hear them on the plane, I hear them on the bus. I haven't heard this type of communication like that since I played here, and it's been a long while. But that type of love can carry you through a lot of different things. And make no mistake, in this NBA, there's going to be ups and downs. But if you want to be able to stabilize the ship, you got to lock arms and hold each other accountable and love each other up.
How do you not want to walk through fire for him?
Yeah.
How do you not want to walk through fire for that guy? And he said it. You don't always get what you want, but sometimes you get what you need, Jason.
Yeah. That's what he's saying there.
You think he was channeling Rolling Stones there?
I don't know, but that's a phrase I know he said before, and I was thinking of that because, honestly, that came to my mind of a weird thing of all things last night for Houston, the national championship game.
Yeah.
Did they need that? But, I mean, that's just the way it works sometimes.
Did Houston need to win that?
No. Did they? I mean, you kind of get what you need.
Yeah.
And so, but Doug's
if you try real hard.
Yeah,
if you try
Doug's
real
references, they probably had to go through that with Washington to get to that other – I said it yesterday. G-Man kind of said it. Look, it hasn't really been reported, but they had a team meeting, and not that all team meetings solve everything, but Doug's kind of referring to that like they just had some really good open communication after that loss, and maybe that is what they needed at that time. And obviously, since then, they've been much better with 3 straight wins.
I think there are differentiating different takes on that take, and the philosophy is always quite interesting. What was the Garth Brooks song?
Friends in Low Places.
It was some of God's
Thunderstruck.
greatest gifts are unanswered prayers, which is a very similar sentiment, that there are times when you think you absolutely, this is the worst. I think we can all think about times in our lives where it was the worst thing ever and everything was going to suck, and how would I ever recover from it? And then years later, you look back. When I got fired from the station, I always say that's the best thing that ever happened in my career. But at the time, wife wasn't working, 2 kids, 3 and 2. I had no income.
Terrific for you.
I know what the hell I was going to do. I remember being inconsolable for like 3 days when a girlfriend of mine I was living with dumped me and moved out. And I, honest to God, I mean, look at me. I honest to God thought I'd never find another girl again. And then I ran into her like 4 years ago. I mean, God bless her and all, but I was like, thank you, Jesus, for that. Because I wouldn't have Melissa or Avery or Mason.
Yeah,
these little forks in the road we take all the time. And obviously we're talking about serious stuff, and that's basketball. But to his point, sometimes it doesn't look right in the interim, but in the long run, you go, thank God we got our asses kicked. There.
Right. Like the great Yogi Berra. If you see a fork in the road, take it.
Yeah. He's so great.
Yes.
We'll take a quick break here. When we come back, let's take a look at the national championship game as well. Another title for Florida. Also, as we do every year with the Masters teeing off this Thursday, I've got your updated concession prices at the Masters. We'll take a look at all that, have some fun next.
The Sactown Sports 1140 News.